This new Animation Versus update gives us our first look at the Chosen One in Animation Versus. As you can see, he has some awesome attacks using his flames, a beam from his eyes, and even a crazy uppercut attack. While this is an early version of his moveset, the Chosen One is already looking like he's going to be an amazing character. Honestly, it's going to be so hard to choose a favourite character in Animation Versus because they all just look so good. Speaking of, Purple has also gotten some new moves in this update. These moves are a standing firework projectile, a mid-air firework projectile, and a spinning attack. When I played the beta build, Purple was one of my favourite characters, and this update might cement him as my favourite. I'd love to know which character is your favourite, so make sure to comment them down below. Finally, we've gotten a look at a brand new stage background, the lab. This background looks absolutely amazing with some really beautiful pixel art. We can expect the next update to be sometime in October. Animation Versus is getting a brand new character called the Dark Lord. Now, we don't have a full look at his entire moveset, but we do have a gif of some of his attack animations which are in the prototype phase. So I'll reiterate that these are early animations and aren't going to be the finished product. He's designed to be an aggressive character with powerful blade attacks and Virobot projectiles that can help cover his attack. He's also got a unique slow fall ability that triggers after he uses an air dash. It's really exciting to see that they've been working on a new character. I was hoping to see maybe a little bit more, but this is still very exciting. The GIF also shows us a brand new stage, which, as all of the other stages do in Animation Versus, looks absolutely amazing. Alan Becker's fighting game Animation Versus has gotten a new Kickstarter update, showcasing some amazing new moves and a new stage area. Animation Versus was able to raise over $1 million on Kickstarter, which has been really exciting as I am one of the few creators who was given exclusive access to its pre-release build. The game's funding ended in May this year, so it's been nice to see that we're already getting updates just a couple months later. Here's what the Kickstarter update says about the progress being made on the game. They've added new moves for Green and Red. Green has been given their forward special, which is a powerful swing with the fishing rod extended into a staff-like weapon. You can also charge the attack for a whip effect that pulls the enemy in for a combo. I think this is going to be a really effective and really fun move, which just adds to Green's zoner gameplay. Green's guitar attack has also been updated, giving it new functionality. Now you're able to press different buttons after the dash motion to perform different follow-up attacks. This is super unique and cool and makes Green even more dynamic than they were before. Red has also been updated, giving him his special back air, which is a grab with his bandana into a backbreaker drop. If you charge the move, he becomes surrounded by a bear spirit for extra power. I love how Red's moves involve some kind of animal. It's a really cool mechanic. They have also added a new area to the lake stage, taking place on the opposite cliff with one platform in the middle. It's really nice to see the lake stage getting a platform as the previous ones didn't have any, so this is a great update. Alan Becker's fighting game has raised over $170,000 on Kickstarter in its first 7 hours, and it just keeps on going up. Animation Versus brings the characters from the Animation Versus series on YouTube into a fighting game, and I was given exclusive early access to play it. Now that the initial Kickstarter goal has been met, there are now stretch goals. At $150,000, a 7th character is added, which has already been reached, so Animation Versus will have at least 7 characters. At $170,000, which has just been passed, there will be a 6th stage added to the game, and based on this image, it looks like at $190,000 there will be an 8th character. At the rate that the Kickstarter is being funded, it seems pretty likely that a ton of these stretch goals are going to be met, which is amazing because I got the chance to play this game and it is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to make a video going over my entire thoughts about how good this game is. It feels kind of like a mix between a traditional fighting game and a platform fighter, which is really unique, and I just love the gameplay that creates. So I highly recommend joining the over 2,000 backers in helping support this game. You can find the link in the description. I'm making a ton of videos covering this game. To see the movesets of all the characters currently in the early development build, watch this video here. Animation Versus is so peak. I really hope the Kickstarter keeps on going well. Alan Becker's fighting game Animation Versus has now raised over $400,000 on Kickstarter since funding started yesterday. The original goal was for the game to raise $130,000, which was completed in just 5 hours. Since that goal, the game has raised enough money to meet 10 of their stretch goals, which add more content to the game the more money that gets raised. So far, Animation Versus has gotten a 7th character, a 6th stage, an 8th character, a 7th stage, a 9th character, an 8th stage, a 10th character, a 9th stage, and a new roguelite game mode. A roguelite is similar to a roguelike, but instead of every run being fresh and starting at the same point, a roguelite has progression, which lets you improve future attempts by getting upgrades, which last after the run has ended. So what would an Animation Versus roguelite look like? Well, we don't know much at the moment, but at a guess I'd say you'd be going up against stronger and stronger CPU opponents, and can get upgrades which give you more moves and attacks to use. But we don't know for sure. Here's what the dev said about it. It will be a randomly generated adventure mode that you can play solo or cooperatively. This mode will offer a break from the fighting for a more chill experience, but if you feel daring, you'll be able to amp up the difficulty and challenge yourself. I'm live streaming exclusive footage of the game today, so if you have any questions, join the stream and I'll try answer them. Thanks for watching. Alan Becker's fighting game Animation Versus has just unlocked Story Mode. The Kickstarter was fully funded with $130,000 raised in just 5 hours, and now just over a week later it has raised over $600,000. Story Mode is Animation Versus's 11th stretch goal, and it's really cool. Story Mode is a new adventure set in the Animation Versus Animation universe, with fully animated cutscenes at an Alan Becker level of quality. It plays like an action platformer with cool new environments to traverse, enemies to fight, and boss battles to conquer. The main antagonist of the story is a brand new character never seen before in AVA. Apparently some of you might know who they're talking about. I personally am not quite sure. Story mode is also a good place to learn the game's controls in a lower stakes environment before hopping into online versus matches, which is great for getting more casual players involved in the game. Story mode will also be part of the base game when it launches. It's not going to be extra paid DLC, you will get it with the game. But it's not the last stretch goal, and now that it's unlocked we can see some new ones. At 620,000 we unlock character 12. At 650,000 there is an extra level in the roguelite mode, and at 670,000 there are interactive online lobbies. We aren't exactly sure what these lobbies will look like, but I assume they'll be somewhat similar to the ones used in Guilty Gear. The Animation Versus Kickstarter has 19 days left until funding is finished. To check out gameplay of the game to see if you want to support it, watch this video here. I'll see you in the next one. Animation Versus has now raised over $670,000 on Kickstarter, unlocking yet another stretch goal. Animation Versus is Alan Becker's fighting game, which I was given exclusive access to play. Since the Kickstarter was released 2 weeks ago, it has blown past the initial funding goal of $130,000 and is now on its 15th stretch goal. So what's the new feature being added? The feature is interactive online lobbies, which are surprisingly cool and honestly are the perfect fit for this game. You'll get to customize your own stick figure avatar with different colors, hats, pets, and other accessories. Then when you enter an online lobby, you'll get to control that avatar in a physical room and get to hang out with other players. Whenever you want to queue into a match, you just walk over to a battle station and get ready to duel. Basically, if you've played other fighting games like Guilty Gear Strive or Street Fighter 6, this system is pretty similar. But if you would prefer a more streamlined, traditional matchmaking experience, you can just use the menus instead. Unlocking interactable online lobbies also unlocks a new stretch goal, which will add a 4th level to the roguelite game mode at 760,000. And the other stretch goals coming up to 760,000 also add more levels to the roguelite game mode. I wonder what other stretch goals are going to be waiting for us beyond 760,000, and whether the game will manage to get there. Animation Versus has raised over $760,000, unlocking its final 17th stretch goal. The goal is a 4th stage stage for the roguelite game mode, which was unlocked at $400,000. We've also gotten these 6 extra characters, 4 extra stages, a story mode, and interactive online lobbies. At the start of the campaign, they weren't super sure whether they'd reach the first goal of 130,000, but after that was reached in just 5 hours, the race was on and they've just kept raising money since. There are less than 69 hours remaining of the Kickstarter, and any money raised is still going to help support the game, but I'm just happy this game has gotten the support it deserves. When I first played it, my first thought was just hoping that they would get enough money for it to reach its potential. It genuinely is amazing and is just so fun to play already. I've made like 50 videos about this game, but I also make videos about Fraymakers, a platform fighting game with characters from other indie games. But to hear my full thoughts on Animation Versus, watch this video here. Thanks for watching. Animation Versus is getting a stage from Rivals 2. In today's Rivals Micro Direct, this short trailer for Animation Versus was played, which revealed the new stage. I might have already known that this stage was coming, but I'm surprised they announced it so quickly. The fact that Animation Versus is already getting crossover stages like this is really exciting, as it opens up a ton of possibilities for future crossovers with other games. Like, imagine if they somehow managed to do an official crossover with Minecraft, although that is still super unlikely. But it's slightly less impossible now that we've gotten the rival stage, although let's be honest, that's probably not going to happen. The Kickstarter has now raised over $575,000, and the next stretch goal of getting story mode is at $600,000, so that should be unlocked super soon. They've also added some new tiers on the Kickstarter, like a VIP watch party tier where you get invited to join the real life launch party at the game's full release, and there's also the founder tier, which lets you add your own stick figure to the game. This stick figure gets a prominent role in the roguelite mode, such as being a healer or a shopkeeper. Because they would have such a prominent role in the game, this tier does cost $10,000, but it's such a cool reward that hopefully someone will go for it. One of my favorite characters in this game is Purple, who has some totally legal bug wings which definitely aren't Minecraft Elytra. Purple honestly has some of the coolest combos in the game, which you can see here in this video. I hope you've been enjoying my Animation Versus content. I'll see you in the next one.